do want to come down. Okay, coming down to volunteer work or community service, it does not have to be an official organization that has a signed certificate saying that you've completed a certain amount of hours. It could definitely be doing anything. It could definitely be anything that you're doing in the community. So if you're cleaning up the beaches on the weekends, or you are helping out your neighbor with homework, or you are tutoring your friend, or anything that you're doing to complete any community service. So for example, I help at my kids' school every other Friday. I would go ahead and enter the organization here, and it does not have to be something that's recorded by anybody. The dates of the service could be from whenever I began doing the work. So let's say this was in September of 2012 and I still currently do it. I would go ahead and enter that there. I also want to make sure to put in, if it's position held, it does not have to be an official position. Like, I don't have to be a secretary or anything like that. I can just put in, I'm a room parent, and that's what I do as my service, and I would just give a brief description on what it is that I do. It does not have to be a full-on paragraph. It could just be bullets, or you can go ahead and number them, whatever works for you. It's just a brief explanation. If you don't have any volunteer hours, if you can't think of anything, then you can just go ahead and either look for volunteer hours throughout the application period. You can contact the foundation. We might be able to help you out with some or give you a resource as to where you can get some. Or last resort would be definitely to at least include something, because it will not let you submit your application while you don't have anything there. And that would be true for all four. I strongly suggest, though, that you do not do this. This is just the last resort, because it definitely helps your application when it is being reviewed. If you do have community service or volunteer work, it doesn't have to be on campus. Again, it could be anything. If you have multiple organizations that you volunteer, or if you can think of multiple things that you do to help out the community, again, you can come here and click add another answer, and then you would answer number 1 through 4 all the way through per organization or per whatever service you are completing. Okay, college activities does have to be something that you are completing on campus. It does not, you don't have to enter any answers, though, if you don't have any. It is not a required question. It is just something to be able to show how you are involved on campus. This could be student clubs, it could be a sports team, it could be different like maybe webinars that you're hosting, or maybe it could be some kind of seminar that you are attending on campus. It could be anything that you are associated with on campus. And again, you can click add another answer for that. If you have more than one student club or service or on campus that you're a part of, you can go ahead and enter that there. And if I'm not mistaken, you can add up to 5, just to give you a brief, 4, just to give you a brief example of that. Okay, so this portion here, what are your educational goals, explain your reasons for applying, and additional information are very important to your application. They are the bread and butter of your app. The previous information was how to qualify you best for the scholarships. This is going to explain why you're applying for them and give the reviewer a sense of who you are. And we're going to go ahead and explain in detail exactly what you should include here and what you shouldn't include in the next video. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the next video and we'll give you specific hints on what to add in there. And then lastly, you are going to have the opportunity, if you would like, to attach a file. This could be your resume, it could be a certificate, it could be a hard copy reference letter if you have one. Keep in mind that when you do add a new file, you could go ahead and select anywhere that this file is uploaded onto your computer. However, you will only be able to attach one document. So if you have several things that you might want to upload to your application, you might want to scan them all in together as one, make it one file, and then you would go ahead, save it onto your desktop, and choose it from your computer. If you have questions on that, we'll also have another video in the future explaining how to do that. But for now, I'll go ahead and move on to the electronic references. This you can do by just clicking here on adding a new reference. The way this works is you will go ahead and put in the name of the person that you want to request this letter of recommendation. Make sure that you are correctly spelling the person's name and email address, because that is how it's going to get to that person. And when it does get to that person, they will be able to receive the email in the same way that you confirmed your your account. They'll be able to confirm whether they want to respond or not. You don't have to finish and submit your application for them to receive the email. As long as you save it, they will receive the email as soon as you save it. Make sure that you do contact the person and let them know that they should be receiving this email from the Fullerton College Foundation, to look out for it and to respond in a timely manner. Okay, make sure that you ask the person before you submit their name and email address if it is okay with them to request a letter of recommendation. That way they know to look out for it in their email, and they can go ahead and respond in a timely manner. Make sure that you're building your relationships with your teachers now, and with your counselors, or even your employers, or somebody that can give you a good reference, so that they will be able to respond when you request that. So just to give you an example of what that looks like, you can go ahead and see here that once you save your application, it will go ahead and send them the email even without you submitting your application. So you can see here, it says in big capital letters, "Do not delete. The Fullerton College Foundation requests that you serve as a reference." So when they open their email, they'll see who you are that is requesting a letter of recommendation. It'll give them a link to go to so they can complete the reference, and then that will automatically attach to your application, so you don't have to worry about making sure that you get them uploaded. As long as you are checking in with that person, submitting their email address correctly, then it should work out fine. You will receive a notification to whatever email address you submitted as your account. It will let you know when they do submit a letter of recommendation. You will not be able to see the letter of recommendation, but you will be able to see if they've responded or not. Even every time that you log on here, it will tell you. See, right now it says that it's requested. It doesn't say anything. If they do submit one, it will say so-and-so submitted on a certain date. Recommenders do have an additional week to respond to your request for a letter of recommendation after the deadline. So even if you don't have it there as the deadline, don't freak out. They still have a week to do it, and it will let them know that in their email. We'll go ahead and send them a reminder and let them know, hey, you still have a week to do this. Please make sure you submit it. And then lastly, you want to make sure to put in a URL if you have one. If you have a portfolio of work that you might want to include, you can go ahead and do that. If you don't have one, that's fine as well. Make sure that you do type in your full name as proof of the signature, that we can verify your information and that you are submitting your application. And you want to go ahead and put in today's date. It's a drop down, so you can just click it there. And then you will go ahead and click finish and submit. When you do that, if you have not answered every required field, it will not let you submit your application. Maybe you might have missed something and didn't recognize it. I missed a lot. It tells me exactly what it is that I'm missing so that I can go ahead and include everything the reviewer needs to see and that the system needs to see to best qualify me for scholarships.